place looks familiar. That's not a good sign. There's someone up ahead. Time for a little chat.
I wasn't expecting visitors at this hour. Wait, is that?
Oh, it's him.
There you are! Sinue's been looking for you all day. I think he has some news for you.
Oh yeah? What were you doing just now, Uncle Retinue? Hiding away some more loose change? I know I saw some Mora.
What do you mean, loose change? Oh, come on, I'm too old for this. Just pretend you saw nothing.
Hey, kid. Mind telling me what Sinuhe's been up to recently? I'm trying to get in his good books and I need a way in.
Get in his good books? Why? What do you want with my dad, Uncle Apepi?
I've written a new song. I was hoping to showcase it at the next festival, but I'll need his approval.
A new song, huh? I'd love to stay and listen, but unfortunately, Uncle Retinue says my dad's looking for me.
Well, there's plenty of time and I'm not going anywhere. See that pile of stones? I'll be sitting there warming up my vocal cords. Come find me when you're done.
Pile of stones. Got it. Hi, Dad. Uncle Retinue said you were looking for me.
Ah, there's my little princess. If you'd gotten back just a little sooner, you could have shared the spoils of war with me.
Spoils of war? Who were you fighting against, Dad?
It was just a figure of speech. The aftermath of a sandstorm is no time to be waging war. I was talking about our war against thirst. I went out to fix our water supply problem, and now I'm back.
We have a well again!
That's right. I found a new one and brought back as much water as I could carry. It should
If it wasn't for these blasted sandstorms, our wells wouldn't be caving in. You wouldn't be spending all your time out searching for new water sources.
As the chief of our tribe, I'm supposed to be leading us out of hardship and poverty, onto better things. You know how prosperous our ancestors were. I've told you all the stories. And look at us now. Squeezed into these hovels. No one would choose this, if it wasn't for the endless wars over the years. But things are looking up. I started working with some folks from the academia a few months back. They gave me some contacts in return for my assistance in the desert.
So you're the academia's helper now?
Special ambassador, they call it. Think of it as a partnership. It's nothing bad, okay? We've been isolated here in the desert for too long. Seeking opportunities elsewhere is the best thing for us, and the fastest way to progress.
So, do you get anything good out of being a special ambassador?
Of course. My luck's improving all the time. One day, I swear I'm gonna lead us out of this place. We'll find somewhere new. Somewhere better.
That's our well, and you know it! You stole from us! Well, you've gone from chief to thief, and now you have to face the consequences!
Did you really think you could take our water without permission and get away with it? You're either brave, stupid, or both.
And that Special Ambassador Act? Yeah, nice try! We spoke to the academia. They said it was all news to them. You're a liar and a cheat!
I heard Yehuda gasp, but I don't blame her. Most people are terrified by the sight of blood. Corpses strewn across the ground. The wounds are clearly from scimitars and daggers. The desert dwellers' weapons of choice. There's a handwritten note on the ground. Let's see what it says.
Halil, this is Sinuhe, chief of the Shimti tribe. Surely you remember me. I was the one who helped you and your colleagues avoid the quicksand in the desert. This is my second time writing to you. I assume my last letter must have gotten lost in the mail, as I didn't receive a reply. I hope this one makes it to you safely. I'm writing to you because I need some help. That sandstorm the other day completely blocked up our well, forcing me to look for another water source in Iab and Unut territory. It was a matter of survival. Praise the gods. The well of the Iab tribe was intact. It was my last resort. I drew what water I could and left, but not without being spotted. I fear you told me to write to you if I ever needed help. You said you'd be my ally in the academia. I urgently need you to formally recognize my title of Special Ambassador and send some of your people to assist me for a few days. It's the only way I can convince them that this was the academia's decision and prevent them from retaliating. This is an emergency. Please send help as soon as possible.
Looks like this letter never got sent. The writer died a grisly death, and the letter was trampled into the ground. It's badly defaced. Some parts are barely legible. What a ridiculous lie the surviving Shimti tell. Their whole village was butchered over a sip of water.
Ah, officer. Welcome. Welcome to our humble village.
I thought you would at least have the courtesy to provide some respectable libations.
This is the finest wine Aru village has to offer. I promise.
The Academia has agreed to reserve a single space for a candidate from your village. But I remain skeptical of this entire endeavor. I highly doubt anyone in this desert possesses serious academic potential.
Please, have faith. If not in us, then in our God. The child we found shows great promise. I beg you, take her away from this place. Give her a chance. Don't let her talent go to waste.
I don't recognize her. New arrival?
She showed up here a few days ago and we took her in. She's a really bright kid. Please help. I'm begging you.
So, where are you from?
Nowhere special. Just a sand dune.
What about the rest of your family? How many of you are there?
Just the one.
It's only you?
Correct.
So, no brothers, no sisters, no mother or father?
Any who have slept on a bed of sand, I call my brothers and my sisters. Apart from that, I have no family.
All right. Get over here. Sign your name on the form. Never? You're rather fair-skinned for a desert dweller.
Nefer, this term's assignments have been issued already. Please read through the materials thoroughly, conduct your own additional research, and then write an essay on the topic.
Yes, Professor, I'm aware. I just had a couple more questions I wanted to get your perspective on.
Oh? Please, ask away.
Well, I saw the other students' problem sheets, and I couldn't help but notice that my assignment is much easier than theirs. Do you really think I'm a weak student?
A weak student? Goodness, no. Quite the opposite. You have a sharp mind. Almost too sharp.
I think what you're saying is, a weak student wouldn't have noticed the discrepancy. And if they did, they certainly wouldn't complain about the lighter workload.
You see, sharp as they come. You see things the way they are, and I'm sure you know why they're like that.
Because of where I come from. Because I'm different.
I'm sorry, Nefer. I don't like it any more than you do. Anyway, you said you had a couple of questions?
I wanted to check. If someone sent me a letter to the academia, where do I go to collect it?
Ah, your family wrote to you. Well, as long as they put your name on the envelope, someone should hand it right to you.
Not exactly. It's not even a recent letter. I was just curious where the mail would end up if no one collects it.
The House of Dana, I expect. I know there's a box for unclaimed mail somewhere in there, probably sitting on a shelf. Whatever you're looking for, that'd be the place to start.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Professor.
Oh, don't mention it. Honestly, I feel like I failed you. I'm supposed to be your teacher, but I haven't taught you anything.
Hey, don't say that. You're a great teacher, and you do your best for all your students. But the rules are the rules. You're not allowed to teach students like me. It's not just the academia either. The whole world bends over backwards for the successful, and leaves the losers to suffer and die.
Oh, my dear child. Don't tell me you've given up on life already.
I haven't. I just think that if you want to make it in this world, you have to find a way to become successful. This must be it. A big cardboard box full of unclaimed mail. And probably some letters that ended up here by mistake, too. Let's take a look. A dilapidation survey from Port Ormos. Looks like it's from a Core of 30 representative. What a strange thought. This one was never even opened. I guess the recipient didn't care what the Core of 30 had to say about anything. Who was it addressed to? I don't recognize the name, but it must have been a Kasharawar professor. This one is addressed to the Amorta Sage. The title is Changes Observed in Satyavada Life Symptoms. Guided by the incense, we became lost somewhere in the forest. All the barriers between levels of consciousness disappeared as our minds soared around in circles, looking for a branch to seek refuge on. In clinical terms, these symptoms fit the description of incense poisoning. The Amorta Darshan strictly prohibits the use of hallucinogenic substances, but I believe there are still people getting away with it. For example, my neighbor who always breaks out into song and dance after using incense. This seems like something the academia would want to know about. Wait. What's this written on the back? The note says, The sender authored this letter while under the influence of mushrooms. I would send it back, but no return address was provided. Stamped by the Grand Conservator of the House of Dana. This next one is addressed to Grand Sage Azar. A few words of protest regarding recent changes in Sumeru's educational policy. In recent years, the academia has taken on a small number of students from the desert region, as per the policy to this effect. However, it appears to me that these students have not, in fact, been provided with educational opportunities that are, in any meaningful sense, equal to those enjoyed by their peers, as well as receiving dumbed-down assignments and perfunctory tutoring. They do not even have full access to the Akasha system. Education is the fundamental purpose of this institution, which should go without saying in a nation whose founding virtues are knowledge and wisdom. I ask you, is the lip service we pay to the policy of education for desert students truly the standard of pedagogy to which the academia aspires? As Grand Sage, policy decisions are your prerogative, but do not forget your roots. You and I were once students too, as was everyone else in this institution. I do hope you will give some serious attention to this matter. I encourage you to discuss issues like this with myself and others, and listen to some alternative opinions. Great letter. Shame it didn't get to where it needed to go. And the sender is... Sage Cyrus of Spontamod. I didn't realize anyone else even knew how bad students like me have it in this place. So this is where letters from the Sage of Spontamod end up? Nice one, Grand Sage. Really enlightened leadership. Whatever. This isn't what I came here for. Moving on. I'm not exactly holding out hope that a letter sent from the desert would even make it here. But if it did, where else would it end up if not in this box? I can't believe how much discarded mail there is. Must have been years since someone last went through it all. I don't believe for 1 second that any human being has sat down and read through all the documents in this place. Who has that much free time on their hands? Wait, could this be it?
Greetings, Halil. My name is Sinuhe, chief of the Shimti tribe. I was the one who came to you and your colleague Zaid when you ran into trouble in the Great Red Sand. I don't know how well you remember it now, but I brought you to safety and gave you some water and other supplies. You seemed very pleased and told me your name. In my tribe, learning a person's true name is serious business, and I therefore see you all as friends. You were kind enough to leave your contact details, so we could stay in touch. The Shimti tribe lives a harsh, nomadic existence in the desert. You were sympathetic towards my plight, promising to make me a special ambassador of the academia and help us find a way to make a better living. This brings me to my reason for writing. Our tribe has fallen on particularly hard times, and I would like to ask for your assistance. There was a terrible sandstorm a few days ago, which blocked up the well in our land. To ensure my people's survival, I had no choice but to venture into Iyab and Unut territory. The Iyab and Unut are descended from the Thamudians, while we trace our ancestry to Tulatala. We worship the Lord of Flowers and have had relatively good relations with our fellow tribes up until now. I found a well belonging to the Eob tribe. They declined to help us, but I really had no other option, so I took some water to keep me and my tribe alive. My actions are certain to incur their wrath. When we met, you assured me that you would be my ally in the academia. I would like to take you up on that offer, because I really need your help. I wonder if you could send an academia representative to meet with me. That aside, the last time you were here, you mentioned that the academia had started accepting students from the desert, and I told you a little about my daughter, Nefer. We have next to no resources here in the desert, and my power and influence are limited. Would you consider enrolling my daughter at the academia? She is a smart girl. I know she won't disappoint you.
From the outset, the academia never took you seriously. Those things they promised were just empty words. I doubt they even remember the name Sinuhe. And you were so emphatic that your luck had finally changed for the better. You swore you'd lead us to a better place one day. You spoke with such conviction, like you were the most powerful chief in the whole desert. You liar. You lied about everything. You promised the world and delivered on none of it. And who fell for it? Just me, by the looks of it. Despite your best efforts. Which makes you a pathetic liar. You weren't even any good at it. I think I'll take over from here. Let me show you how it's done. I just came to say goodbye. Thanks for everything you've done for me in my time here.
Nefer? You packed your bags. Where are you going?
I'm quitting. Something's come up in my hometown. Gonna head back and deal with it.
Huh? But this was a hard-won opportunity for you. You know that better than I do.
It was, but it doesn't matter. I have more important things to deal with, and they can't wait. Oh, and I didn't want to overfill my bags, so I left some incense on your desk. What's wrong? I thought you liked incense. Although, I did read somewhere in the House of Dana that it has hallucinogenic effects. Don't use it all at once, all right?
Isn't this the stuff you brought from your hometown? You're just letting me have it? But you said it's a rare and valuable commodity.
Yeah, about that. I lied. It's not rare at all. There's this bunch of ruins near my hometown that are practically overgrown with this plant. It's not worth much. Keep it, it's fine.
But Nefer...
All right, that's all from me. You take care.
Don't forget me, okay? I mean, we're more than just classmates, right?
Yeah, I'll remember you. I lied again. That incense is worth a fortune, and it's a rare find even in those ruins. And as for remembering her, I have far too much to do when I get back. No time to reminisce. I'll be lucky if I even make it through this alive. But either way, I expect I'll forget you pretty quickly. more lies. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Arif.
So, what does the Academia want? Since they've sent their special ambassador, I assume there's a big business deal to be made. If not, I'd be very disappointed.
Please, sir, lower your blade. You're lucky I'm the one they sent. Not all special ambassadors share my admiration for the Iab people. The ever-shifting balance of power in the desert reduced the once great civilizations of this region to rubble and sand. But the story of the Iab has a very different trajectory. Others grew weak, but you grew strong, beginning in obscurity and moving to prosperity.
Huh. So, you do know who you're dealing with?
This well is the perfect symbol of your strength, is it not? It used to belong to the Unut, but it looks like you have
You're not wrong. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to flatter us.
Of course not. I came to bring you some very good news. Some information that recently came to light, which might just be your ticket to freedom. Records uncovered by the Vahumana Darshan show that a certain well currently under Iab control is built on top of some ancient ruins. These ruins are of great archaeological interest to the Academia. I checked the map carefully on my way over here, and I'm confident that this is the well in question. The Academia is offering 50 million mora in return for excavation rights.
50 million? No, wait. If these ruins are as important as you say, 50 million's a little low.
Don't get greedy, Iab. We know far more than you think. We know that you seized this well by force. Wasn't that the first step in your rise to power? To drive away the Unut and steal their water supply?
So what if it was?
Don't worry. As unscrupulous as it was, it's something we're willing to overlook. The Academia is only interested in dealing with the de facto power holders in the region. I hope I am making myself clear.
And I hope your words are the truth. If I find out the Academia is trying to play me, I'll hunt down every one of your people and make you watch as I cut their heads off one by one.
I assure you, Chief, that would not be in your long-term interests. You see how I'm dressed, don't you? I appreciate that you've never been to the rainforest, but surely even you recognize an ambassador's attire when you see it. And what does a barbarian like you have to lose anyway? You really think the Sumeru Academia would bother to come all this way just to lie to you?
All right, I take your point. The Academia is the highest authority in the land. I'm sure you're trustworthy people. In that case, we have a deal. We will sell you the excavation rights. I'd like to thank you, Ambassador. This is good news indeed. Excellent news. In fact, it calls for a celebration. Would you do us the honor of staying a while and enjoying some Iab hospitality?
Gladly. I am partial to wine myself, and I trust you are as well. So let's indulge in a few drinks together.
Chief! Chief, it's an emergency! It's the Unut. They've taken the well.
What? Well, don't just stand there. Take it back.
Yes, Chief.
I have every confidence in the Eab's military superiority, and yet...
What is it?
The Unut's response was alarmingly fast. The day after we reach a deal, they seize the well. This can't be a coincidence. Perhaps there is a traitor in your midst.
I don't think so.
I am obliged to remind you, Chief, that the Academia will only deal with the de facto power holders. If you cannot regain control over the well, I'm afraid you won't see a single mora of that 50 million.
No! Please, Ambassador, just give me some time. I swear the Unut will not get away with this. That well is ours, and so is the mora.
Glad to hear it. I will wait here for an update.
If there is a traitor, I will find them. In the meantime, make yourself at home. I'll report back as soon as I have an update.
Much obliged. Wow. All it took was a few words and I've got him wrapped around my finger. What an amazing feeling.
So, in summary, Ambassador, the Academia would rather negotiate with our tribe instead of the Eab, yes?
The Eab are ruthless murderers who don't listen to reason. And now they have the gall to interfere in our research projects in the desert region. So let me ask you, Chief, if you were the Academia, what would you do?
Kill them all, of course.
Precisely. The Academia does not tolerate those who stand in our way. The Eab have held back our academic pursuits for too long, and our patience is wearing thin. At the same time, there is simply no way that the Academia can be seen to be intervening in desert affairs. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from.
We have our own rules out here. If the rainforest dwellers raised arms against a desert tribe, it'd start a bloody war.
Right. We can't confront them ourselves, but we can support their enemies. The Unut have always had strained relations with the Eab, which makes you our natural allies. Natural allies? Weren't the Eab your allies once? You were quick to send them after us to protect your interests back when we stole that water. And now look at you. You're at each other's throats. Let me be clear. The Academia wishes to collaborate with the legally recognized rulers of the desert in this matter. We are asking for excavation rights to that well, and our—
Say no more. I believe we have an understanding.
Good. Then I suggest you get to work. Get us access to that well, and the mora's yours. You see, Dad? Lying is easy when you know how. People will believe anything. Look at yourselves. You may be vile, savage monsters, but your butchered bodies bleed like any others. You're no different. You're nothing special at all. The monsters who destroyed my home, they're just ordinary, petty human beings. What? I think we're even now. Maybe I've even done the desert a favor. It's a better place without all these people around. Oh, Sinuhe, my gullible fool of a father. Perhaps if you'd been as ruthless as I was today, our tribespeople would still be alive. But you couldn't do what had to be done. So I did it for you.
Nefer, it's okay. All of this is in the past now.
I believe I remember you promising to remain silent.
Yeah, but even so...
Yehuda, is there anything you can do to ease the tension?
Alright, time for a sharp turn onto a completely different topic. So, anyway, that's enough of that. When are we getting out of this place? Feels like we've been walking forever. I'm getting pretty tired. Oh, Lauma, you tired?
Yes, if we can find somewhere to sit down, I could certainly do with a rest.
It's not far now. There should be a temple just up ahead. Yes.
Really? A temple? That's where this story ends? I guess that's how things go in the desert.
Desert dwellers can never escape their destiny. Or so everyone says. I never wanted to believe it, but looking back now, I'm as desert as they come.
You mentioned a temple. What's waiting for us there?
My biggest trade secret of all.
Ah. Then I'm guessing it's where you got your power from.
I didn't know you were clued up on any other religions.
I'm no expert in the history of Sumeru, but since you come from the desert, I would imagine it has something to do with King Deshret.
Sounds impressive.
Ah, I know who you mean. General Mahamatra Sino. The spirit of Hermanubis dwells within him.
That's Boss Neff for ya. She knows everything.
Sino's hardly a figure of obscurity, but I know about Sethos too.
What about him? Is he a big deal or something?
Well, he's not a small deal, let's put it that way. Please, this is the bare-bone basics. Save the flattery. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm sure it's been a lot to take in.
I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this stuff. Like, look at that statue, for instance. I want to do the whole name-dropping, this girl knows her stuff thing too, but I've never seen anything like it before.
A statue with the head of a bird.
That's Thoth, the Ibis King, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legends say that he, the Crocodile King, and the Goat King were the 3 retainers of King Deshret. Let's take a look.
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well?
Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear.
You're sure?
Of course. It's almost over.
Hold on!
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Speak for yourself.
How repulsive.
Timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir, it seems I alerted him. I was tracking him, then he caught on and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That shouldn't be possible.
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave at first.
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Iab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled in the academia, where some new information came to light. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million mora. The Iab ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe. The final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Eab fled and have been scattered to the winds ever since. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility of the desert, while my tribal home lay in ruins. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King. He led me to a gate deep inside the temple, and there he made a deal with me. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents his power of piercing analysis. With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story. Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies. But precious few gods are willing to admit this.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned. Thank you all for being here. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Reicher of Solnari's background. I am pleased to report that the investigation has been most fruitful indeed. The Reicher of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Khaenri'an subject who served the Vinster King. I will now share the important details of his story. Please say...
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But it does not excuse his many transgressions. No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc upon innocent lives in Nod-Krai. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all of Teyvat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerir's memory?
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description.
Miss Lama, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient knowledge, others of a gateway to the unknown. The term Moongate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are no records of any first-hand witnesses. We cannot know whether it truly exists.
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you have some idea of where the Moongate leads to?
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon, and my strength is recovering well. I can sense that the gate would open at my command, but...
But there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that?
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the moon gate, since it is a path to the moon. But as Nefer mentioned, holding open a spatial gateway takes a huge amount of power. And right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Rahier of Solnari. I'm afraid this is one mystery we may have to leave unsolved for now.
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gateway. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Rarir made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the Rahier of Solnari exists in the form of countless fragments. With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the wild hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the land.
So your theory is that Rarir was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why the wild hunt is a distributed phenomenon, rather than a unified one?
Makes sense to me. Explains why the wild hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was whole to begin with, and he wants to be whole again.
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss, much like a curse, has kept him alive.
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, it will continue to survive in spite of everything. This raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments and see if there is any validity to my suspicions. That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation. Already, it has greatly enriched my understanding of the entity we face.
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset!
It's just... when I think of the man I once knew as Rarir, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but my heart goes out to you.
Mine too. We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies, and the skies are host to many more mysteries than these alone.
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover. She's been through an awful lot today.
That's very thoughtful of you, Lama.
Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan. Hey, is this a bad time? Hope I didn't kill the conversation. nice room. Oh, I'm not coming in, though.
Why not? It's just a hotel room.
If it's all the same, I'll just stay out here. I might not look the part, but I'm technically a knight. Barging into people's private quarters isn't the kind of thing we do. Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest, but before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be aware of. Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chess set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any match for one of the 5 sinners. Their powers are beyond our comprehension. It's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before that happens.
Honestly, my mom figured that might be the case. So, how long have we got?
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, it seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is. It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will? Anyway, after all that, she finally answered the question. 2 days, at most.
2 days? Holy moly! Can we even recruit enough help in that time?
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little time we have, there's no way we can pull this off without his help. You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us? Great. I appreciate it. All right, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. Can't promise it's gonna work yet, but at least it's a start. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Oh, Paimon's dying to hear this.
All right, so here's what we're thinking. We felt a little uneasy about roping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse if you so choose.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here. It's all of us against the Rayher of Solnari, or none of us stand a chance.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this plan.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this.
I see your point, yeah. But if that's how we're going to approach this, you'd better make sure you're ready. To be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I just want to make sure. Are you really willing to take all this on?
I want to do everything within my power. The Rayher of Solnari is a truly fearsome opponent, and if I do my part, it'll greatly reduce the risk for everyone else involved.
Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to just march towards danger without a moment's hesitation. Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and you're our honorary knight. I want to make sure your courage doesn't come at the expense of your safety.
Thank you, Sir Varka.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.